I'm going to demonstrate a fruit cake which is usually made back home in India during Christmas time. The most important thing about the fruit cake is the difference with from the regular recipes is that everything has to be weighed. The flour, the sugar, the butter, everything has to be weighed and not really measured with a measuring cup. So this is the weighing scale that I use. The recipe calls for 300 grams of butter, 275 grams of sugar, 250 grams of flour, and 5 eggs. That is the main ingredient.
Do you have a recipe?
Start with butter. The butter has to be at room temperature. It's like 113 grams. So you need like 300 grams of butter. So it's a little bit less than 3 sticks.
Has to be room temperature.
Best at room temperature. If you leave it out for a little while, and you can have it like June or just the butter.
So blend 300 grams of butter in a mixer. How much of sugar?
From here.
So butter nallavole adichu kayinittu pansara add cheyanam. So add beat 300 grams of butter with 275 grams of sugar. Once the butter and sugar is done, add 5 eggs.
And one by one.
One by one. The egg white and the yellow both, right?
Yeah, both together.
Okay.
Add in today,
So this is all-purpose flour. And how much of it? 250 grams of all-purpose flour. Add with the sugar? No, not with the sugar. So this is unbleached flour, 250 grams, all-purpose flour. Okay, ladies, please pay attention.
Baking powder is 1.5 teaspoons.
Baking powder, how much?
1.5 teaspoons.
Okay, 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder to be added to the flour. Okay, ladies, please pay attention. Baking soda and baking powder are two different things. You are supposed to add baking powder, not baking soda. It's time now to caramelize the sugar to get the brown color. So that's getting ready on the stove. Okay, now we are going to caramelize the sugar. So in a hard bottom pan.
Yeah, it's an open shallow pan.
Yeah, open shallow pan. You have to add about
5 tablespoons of sugar.
Like 5 tablespoons of sugar.
Half a tablespoon of butter.
Half a tablespoon of butter. Add a little butter to the sugar. Now this is gradually caramelizing. Wow, look at that. That looks so beautiful. This is the whole trick of the trade. If you know how to caramelize your sugar, then you know how to make a cake. It's almost getting ready. Now we have to put some water.
3 tablespoons of water.
3 tablespoons of water so that the sugar doesn't get hardened.
No wonder my cake comes out bad. I never do this.
Now you know.
You want to just put it over there? Okay.
Okay, so we are done with that. That's awesome.
So you add the flour, you alternate it with the caramelized sugar. So you add some flour first, mix it, then add the sugar, mix it, and till it's done.
Okay, so you add to the mixture caramelized sugar alternatively till the whole thing is done. So there's the caramelized sugar.
ഇത് നമുക്ക് ഇളക്കി എടുക്കാൻ പ്രയാസം വന്ന കുഴപ്പമില്ല.
So this is how it looks after you add the caramelized mixture. So now you start adding the flour little by little to that mixture.
Leave a little bit of the flour in the pan so that when you measure the fruits, it coats with the flour.
So your fruits have to be coated with the flour, so you have to save a little bit of the flour.
Of this tutti frutti and 50 grams of raisins.
So 100 grams of tutti frutti and 50 grams of raisins to be added. Put it into the flour so that you can coat it with the flour.
And 2 drops of vanilla.
So little bit of nutmeg powder, little bit of cinnamon powder, and a few drops of vanilla to be added into the mixture. Yeah, so these are your secret ingredients. Cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla, and what's the other one?
Cinnamon.
Okay. Now the mixing is over. So we're going to take the batter out from there.
Hand mixer you need water.
So now we added all the tutti frutti and the raisins that were coated with the flour into the mix, and then now we hand mix the whole thing.
Grease it with butter or margarine and then use a little bit flour to coat it. And then you bake it at 300 degrees for almost an hour.
Should your pan be hot or it can be just cold? So the oven has to be preheated at the 350 degrees centigrade for how many minutes? So you have to put on your degrees centigrade and keep it like that till it reaches 300 degrees. And then you're ready to put your cake batter in. Okay, so now the batter is put into the pan and then it's going to go at 300 degrees Fahrenheit into the oven for an hour. Okay, so now we put it to 300 degrees